In the quiet town of Maplewood, Jenna stared out of her bedroom window, watching the leaves dance in the cool autumn breeze. The vibrant colors of red and gold reminded her of the warmth she once felt in her heart. That warmth had come from her best friend, Alex. But now, with Alex living hundreds of miles away, Jenna felt a cold emptiness settle in Dot. It had been 6 months since Alex moved to another state with his family. They had shared countless memories, late-night talks, laughter echoing through the hallways, and dreams of the future. But after he left, everything changed. The laughter faded, and Jenna found herself feeling distant from the one person who had always understood her. Jenna picked up her phone, scrolling through their old messages. Each text was a reminder of their bond, but now it felt like a ghost of what once was. She missed their inside jokes and the way Alex could make her smile, even on her worst days. With a sigh, she dropped the phone onto her bed and buried her, face in her pillow, feeling a wave of sadness wash over her. Why is it so hard to reach out? She thought. She wanted to message him, to call him, to hear his voice, but fear held her back. What if he had moved on? What if he didn't miss her as much as she missed him? The thought made her heart ache. Days turned into weeks, and Jenna's sadness lingered like a shadow. She tried to fill her time with school and friends, but nothing seemed to replace the connection she had with Alex. One evening, as she sat on her porch, she watched the stars twinkle in the night sky, and a sudden idea sparked in her mind. What if I write him a letter? She whispered to herself. It was an old-fashioned idea, but it felt right. She grabbed a piece of paper and a pen, her heart racing with excitement and nervousness. "Dear Alex," she began, pouring her emotions onto the page. She wrote about her days without him, how she missed their adventures, and how hard it was to adjust to life without his laughter. She wrote about the emptiness that echoed in her heart, and how she wished they could reconnect. After finishing the letter, Jenna sealed it in an envelope and addressed it to Alex's new home. She hesitated for a moment, feeling a mix of hope and fear. What if he didn't want to hear from her? But deep down, she knew she had to try. With a deep breath, she dropped the letter into the mailbox, watching it disappear into the slot like her hopes flying away. Days passed, and Jenna found herself checking her mailbox every day, her heart racing with anticipation. Then one sunny afternoon, she spotted a familiar envelope waiting for her. With trembling hands, she opened it, and her heart soared as she read Alex's words. "Jenna, I've missed you so much," he wrote. "Moving away has been hard, but your letter made my day. I think about our time together all the time. I want to reconnect too." Tears of joy filled Jenna's eyes as she read the rest of his message. Alex suggested a video call, and she couldn't contain her excitement. They decided to set a date, and as the day approached, Jenna felt a flutter of hope in her chest. When the moment finally arrived, Jenna sat in front of her computer, her heart racing. She clicked the link to join the call, and there he was, Alex, smiling at her from the screen. It felt like no time had passed at all. "Hey, Jenna," he said, his voice warm and familiar. "You look great." "You do too," she replied, her heart swelling with happiness. They spent hours talking, reminiscing about old times, sharing their new experiences, and laughing until their sides hurt. Jenna felt the distance between them shrink with every word spoken. "I've been thinking a lot about what we talked about," Alex said, his expression turning serious. "I really want to visit you. I miss our adventures." "Really? You'd come back?" Jenna's heart raced at the thought. "Of course. I want to see you, to hang out like we used to," he replied, a smile spreading across his face. "We can explore Maplewood together again." Jenna felt a mixture of happiness and hope. The idea of reconnecting and creating new memories filled her with excitement. They made plans to meet during the upcoming school break, and Jenna felt a spark of joy she hadn't felt in months. As the weeks passed, she counted down the days until Alex's visit. She decorated her room, picked out outfits, and even planned a list of places to show him. The thought of seeing him again was like a light shining through her sadness. Finally, the day arrived. Jenna stood at the front door, her heart pounding with anticipation. When she saw Alex walking down the street, a rush of emotion flooded over her. He looked just the same, but there was a new spark in his eyes. "Jenna," he called, running towards her. They embraced tightly, and in that moment, all the distance and sadness melted away. Their reunion was filled with laughter and excitement as they explored the town, revisiting their favorite spots and making new memories. Jenna realized that, while life may take people in different directions, true friendships could withstand any distance. As the sun set on their first day together, Jenna felt a warmth spread through her heart. In that moment, she understood that connection transcends distance, and all it takes is a little courage to reach out. And so, Jenna knew that even though Alex had moved away, their bond only grew stronger. She looked forward to the adventures ahead, grateful for the journey that brought them back together. In the end, she had been forced to face her fears and take a leap of faith. And in doing so, she discovered that love and friendship could flourish, no matter the distance. After the wonderful reunion with Alex, Jenna felt a renewed sense of hope. Their laughter still echoed in her mind as she lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling. She thought about how easily they fell back into their old rhythm, as if no time had passed at all. But as the days went by, she realized that she didn't want it to end. She wanted to keep that connection alive, even though Alex lived far away. The next morning, Jenna woke up with a plan. They had talked about how much they missed each other, and she wanted to make sure they never drifted apart again. She picked up her phone and texted Alex, suggesting they set up a regular time to talk, just like they used to when they lived in the same town. "Hey, Alex, what if we have a video call every Saturday? It'll be our time to catch up and share everything," she sent, her heart racing as she hit send. Would he think it was a good idea? She waited anxiously for his reply. Moments later, her phone buzzed. "I love that idea. Saturday sounds perfect. Can't wait to see you again." Jenna couldn't help but smile. She felt a warmth spread through her, knowing they were both committed to keeping their friendship strong. As the week passed, Jenna found herself counting down the days until Saturday. She thought about all the things she wanted to share with Alex, the new book she was reading, the songs she had discovered, and the funny things that happened at school. Her excitement grew, and she felt like a kid waiting for a holiday. On Saturday afternoon, Jenna set up her laptop on her desk, making sure the camera was centered just right. She brushed her hair and changed into her favorite shirt. She wanted to look nice for Alex. It felt important somehow. As the clock ticked closer to their call, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. When the video call finally connected, Jenna's heart raced. Alex's face filled the screen, and he looked just as happy to see her. "Hey, Jenna," he said, his smile brightening her day. "You look great." "Thanks, so do you," Jenna replied, feeling the familiar warmth between them. They spent the next hour chatting about everything. Alex shared stories about his new school and the friends he had made, while Jenna told him about her life in Maplewood. They laughed about old memories and even made new inside jokes. As the call went on, Jenna felt a strong connection growing between them. It was as if the distance didn't matter anymore. They talked about their dreams for the future and what they wanted to achieve. Jenna felt inspired by Alex's ambition. He wanted to be an engineer, while she dreamed of becoming a writer. They encouraged each other, promising to support one another no matter where life took them. But as the call came to an end, Jenna felt a pang of sadness. "I don't want this to be just a weekly call," she admitted. "I want to do more together." Alex nodded, his eyes sparkling with ideas. "What if we start a project together? We can write a story or create a blog, something that combines our interests." Jenna's heart leaped at the idea. "That sounds amazing. We can write about our experiences, our dreams, and even our friendship. It will be something we can both work on no matter the distance." "Exactly. Let's make it happen," Alex replied, his enthusiasm infectious. They spent the last few minutes brainstorming ideas for their project, and Jenna felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was a way to keep their bond strong and create something meaningful together. That week, Jenna threw herself into the project. They decided to create a blog where they would share their stories, thoughts, and dreams. Every day after school, she worked on their first post, excited to see how it would turn out. She wrote about the importance of friendship, how it could transcend distance, and how grateful she was to have Alex in her life. When she sent the draft to Alex for his feedback, she felt a flutter of anticipation. Would he like it? Would he have suggestions? After a few hours, she received a reply. "Jenna, this is fantastic. You captured everything perfectly. I can't wait to share it with everyone." Jenna felt a rush of pride. They decided to publish their first post that weekend and promoted it on social media. To her surprise, friends and family began to read it, and Jenna sat at her desk, staring at her laptop screen, her heart pounding with excitement. The blog she and Alex had started was growing, and their friendship had blossomed into something deeper. Each week, their video calls brought them closer together, and their shared dreams filled her with hope. But as happy as she was, there was still a lingering fear in the back of her mind. What if things changed again? After their heart-to-heart conversation about their feelings, Jenna felt a mix of joy and anxiety. She wanted to explore this new phase of their relationship, but she also worried about how distance could affect them. What if Alex moved on, or what if they couldn't maintain this connection? The thought made her stomach twist. Determined to keep their bond strong, Jenna suggested they do something special. "How about we plan a virtual adventure?" she proposed during one of their weekly calls. "We could explore a new topic together each week and share our thoughts on it." Alex's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea. What do you have in mind?" Jenna thought for a moment. "What about exploring different cultures? We could each pick a country and learn about its traditions, food, and history. Then we can share what we find." "I love that," Alex replied, his excitement evident. "We can even try to cook a dish from that culture and share photos." They agreed to start with Italy, a country they both loved for its rich culture and delicious food. Jenna spent the next few days researching Italian traditions, famous landmarks, and recipes. She felt a thrill of anticipation as she prepared for their virtual adventure. On the day of their call, Jenna set up her kitchen with ingredients for homemade pizza. She wanted to impress Alex with her cooking skills, and she hoped he would be just as excited about the meal. When they connected on video, Alex's face lit up as he saw her workspace. "Wow, you're really going all out," he exclaimed, grinning. "I wanted to make it special," Jenna said, feeling warmth spread through her. "Are you ready to cook?" "Absolutely, let's do this," Alex replied, and together they began their culinary journey. As they chopped vegetables and tossed dough, the conversation flowed easily. They talked about their favorite Italian dishes, their dream travel destinations, and how they missed each other. Jenna felt a deep sense of connection, and she realized how much she cherished these moments together. Once the pizzas were in the oven, they took a break to discuss the Italian culture they had learned about. Jenna shared interesting facts about Italian festivals, and Alex chimed in with stories he had found about famous landmarks like the Colosseum and the Leaning Tower of Pisa. They laughed and marveled at how much there was to explore. When the timer chimed, they opened their ovens, simultaneously revealing 2 deliciously bubbling pizzas. Jenna felt a rush of pride as she held up her creation to the camera. "Look how good it turned out. Yours looks amazing," Alex said, his eyes wide with admiration. "I can't wait to try mine." They took their first bites, and Jenna's heart soared as she watched Alex savor the flavors. "This is so good," he exclaimed. "We should do this every week." "I agree. It's like we're sharing a meal together, even if we're miles apart," Jenna said, feeling a sense of closeness she hadn't felt in a long time. As they continued to eat and chat, Jenna realized that this virtual adventure was more than just cooking. It was a way to stay connected and keep their friendship alive. She felt grateful for the technology that allowed them to share these experiences, even from different states. But as the evening wore on, Jenna's mind wandered. Would they be able to maintain this connection as they grew older? What if life took them in different directions? The fear crept in again, threatening to overshadow the joy she felt. "Alex," she said hesitantly, "do you ever worry about what happens when we're not in high school anymore? What if we grow apart?" Alex looked thoughtful for a moment. "I've thought about it too, but I believe our friendship is strong enough to handle distance. We just have to be committed to it. We can make plans to visit each other, and we can always keep in touch." Jenna nodded, feeling reassured. "You're right. As long as we're both willing to put in the effort, we can make this work." Their conversation turned lighter again, and they shared funny stories from their lives. Jenna felt her worries fade away, replaced by laughter and warmth. She knew that their friendship was special, and they both wanted to nurture it. After their call, Jenna felt a renewed sense of hope. She decided to take a leap of faith and plan a visit to see Alex over the summer. They had talked about it before, and now she felt ready to make it happen. She could hardly contain her excitement as she began to research flights and accommodations. A few days later, Jenna called Alex with the news. "I'm planning to visit you this summer. I can't wait to see you in person again." "Really? That's amazing," Alex replied, his voice filled with joy. "We'll have so much fun. We can explore your town and maybe even take a trip somewhere." Jenna's heart raced at the thought. "Yes, I want to show you all my favorite spots." It's going to be the best summer ever. As they made plans for her visit, Jenna felt a sense of relief wash over her. This was the next step in their journey together, and she was excited to see where it would lead. The distance that had once felt like a barrier now felt like a challenge they could overcome together. In the weeks leading up to her trip, Jenna and Alex continued their weekly calls, sharing their excitement and counting down the days. They planned activities, made lists of things to do, and even started thinking about what they wanted to cook together when Jenna arrived. Finally, the day came when Jenna boarded the plane, her heart pounding with excitement. She couldn't wait to see Alex again, to hug him tightly, and to experience their friendship in person once more. As the plane took off, she thought about how far they had come since the day he moved away. They had built a bridge over the distance, and now they were ready to cross it together. When Jenna arrived at the airport, she spotted Alex waiting for her with a big smile on his face. As she ran into his arms, all her worries melted away. They were together again, and nothing else mattered. Jenna could hardly believe it. After months of video calls, shared meals, and heartfelt conversations, she was finally in the same place as Alex again. The excitement bubbled inside her as she hugged him tightly at the airport, feeling the warmth of his presence wrap around her like a cozy blanket. "Welcome back to Maplewood," Jenna said, pulling back to look at him. "I've missed this place, and I missed you even more." "I missed you too," Alex replied, grinning. I can't wait to see everything you've talked about." As they drove through the familiar streets of Jenna's hometown, she felt a rush of memories flood back. The park where they had spent countless afternoons, the ice cream shop they always visited, and the school where they had shared so many laughs. Everything felt alive with their shared history. Jenna glanced at Alex, who was looking out the window with awe. "It's beautiful here. I can see why you love it so much." "Wait until you see the sunset at the lake," she said, her excitement building. "It's the best view in the world." Their first stop was the park, where they had spent many summer days playing games and talking about their dreams. Jenna led Alex to their favorite bench, the one that overlooked the small pond. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. "Wow," Alex said, taking in the view. "This is amazing." Jenna smiled, feeling a sense of joy swell inside her. "It really is. I'm so glad you're here to see it." As they talked and laughed, Jenna felt the distance that had once separated them fade away. They reminisced about their childhood memories, telling stories that made them laugh until their sides hurt. It felt as though no time had passed at all. After spending some time at the park, they decided to head to the ice cream shop. Jenna's favorite flavor was mint chocolate chip, and she was eager to share it with Alex. As they walked hand in hand, Jenna felt a thrill run through her. This was more than just friendship now. They were sharing something special. Once they got their ice cream, they found a spot outside to sit and enjoy their treats. "This is just as good as I remember," Alex said, his eyes lighting up as he took a bite. Jenna laughed. "Told you, it's the best." As they ate, Jenna couldn't help but notice how natural it felt to be with Alex. The conversations flowed easily, and there was a spark between them that made her heart race. But as the day went on, she also felt a flicker of worry. What if this was just a perfect moment, and when reality set in, things would change? What if they couldn't maintain this closeness? "Hey, Jenna," Alex said, breaking her train of thought. "I've been thinking about something." "What's that?" she asked, curious. "I know we've talked a lot about how we want to stay connected and support each other, but I also want to make sure we enjoy this time together." "I don't want to rush anything," he said, his voice sincere. Jenna felt a wave of relief wash over her. "I feel the same way. I want to enjoy every moment with you, too. It's just, I don't want to lose this connection again." Alex nodded, understanding. "Neither do the first. We just have to communicate and be honest with each other. If we do that, I believe we can make this work." With that, Jenna felt a sense of hope settle in her heart. They were both committed to making their relationship stronger. She knew that as long as they were honest and open with each other, they could face any. Jenna woke up to the soft morning light streaming through her window. For a moment, she forgot that Alex was just down the hall, visiting for the summer. When she remembered, excitement rushed through her, and she quickly got dressed for the day. After so many months apart, she wanted to make the most of every moment with him. They had spent the last few days exploring Maplewood, reliving their favorite memories, and discovering new places together. But a small shadow of worry still lingered in Jenna's mind. She wondered what would happen when Alex left again. Would things go back to the way they were before, distant, uncertain, and filled with longing? Jenna found Alex sitting at the kitchen table, eating breakfast and reading messages on his phone. He looked up and smiled as she entered the room. "Morning, Jenna. Ready for another adventure?" She smiled back, trying to hide her worries. "Always. Where should we go today?" "How about the hiking trail by the river?" Alex suggested. "You used to talk about it all the time, but I never got to see it." Jenna nodded eagerly. "That's a perfect idea." They packed a small picnic and set off for the trail, enjoying the fresh air and the sound of birds singing in the trees. The path was shaded by tall oaks, and sunlight danced across the ground as they walked side by side. Jenna felt at peace, listening to Alex talk about his life in the new city, his classes, his friends, and the things he missed about Maplewood. As they walked, she noticed that sometimes Alex grew quiet, lost in thought. Jenna wondered if he felt the same sadness she did, knowing their time together would soon come to an end. When they reached a clearing by the river, they sat on a smooth rock and unpacked their lunch. The water sparkled in the sunlight, and Jenna tried to enjoy the moment. But finally, she couldn't keep her feelings inside any longer. "Alex, can I ask you something?" she said softly. He looked at her, sensing the seriousness in her voice. "Of course. What's on your mind?" Jenna took a deep breath. "Are you as worried as I am about what will happen when you go back home? I know we try to make things work, and I'm so happy we started our blog and our weekly calls, but I'm scared of feeling distant again." Alex nodded, his expression thoughtful. "I get what you mean. I think about it too. Sometimes I wonder if distance will make us drift apart. But then I remember how hard we've both tried to stay close. We've been through a lot, Jenna, and I think that shows how much we care." Jenna looked down at her hands. "I just don't want to lose you." Alex reached out and gently took her hand in his. His touch was warm and comforting, and Jenna's heart fluttered at the simple gesture. "You won't lose me, Jenna. Even if we're far apart, I want us to keep trying. We can write letters, send voice messages, and keep our blog going. I want to share my life with you, no matter where we are." She squeezed his hand, feeling a spark of hope. "I want that too. I want to be part of your life, even if it means working a little harder." They finished their picnic and spent the afternoon skipping stones across the river and talking about their dreams for the future. Jenna found herself imagining a life where they could be together more often, where distance wouldn't feel so big. She wondered if that was possible, or if she was just wishing for something that couldn't happen. As the sun began to set, they made their way back to town. The colors in the sky reminded Jenna of the first sunset she and Alex watched together as kids. She remembered how back then everything seemed possible. She wanted to feel that way again. Back at Jenna's house, they sat on the porch swing, watching the stars appear one by one. The air was cool and quiet, and Jenna felt safe with Alex beside her. "Remember how we used to make wishes on the first star we saw?" Alex asked with a smile. Jenna laughed. "Of course. I always wished for us to stay friends forever." Alex looked at her, his eyes soft. "I always wished for the same thing." They sat in silence for a while, just enjoying the moment. Jenna realized that even though distance was hard, it had also taught her how strong their friendship, and maybe even their love, could be. They had both made sacrifices and found creative ways to stay close. That was something to be proud of. "Do you want to know what I'm wishing for now?" Jenna asked, turning to face Alex. He grinned. "Let me guess. For us to always find a way back to each other?" She smiled, feeling a tear slip down her cheek, not from sadness, but from hope. "Yes, I wish for us to never give up, no matter how far apart we are. I wish for us to keep trying, and to always find hope even when things feel impossible." Alex brushed away her tear and pulled her into a gentle hug. "That's my wish too. And you know what? I think we can make it come true." Jenna closed her eyes, letting herself believe in their promise. She knew there would be hard days ahead, days when she missed Alex so much it hurt, days when she worried if they could make it work. But she also knew that they had already come so far. They had turned sadness into strength, and distance into determination. As the night grew colder, Alex stood up to leave. "I should head back to the guest house. But before I go, I want you to remember something." Jenna looked up at him, her heart full. "What is it?" "No matter where I am or how far away, you're always in my heart. We'll keep fighting. For this, Jenna, I promise." She nodded, holding his words close. "I promise too." After Alex left, Jenna sat on the porch a little longer, looking up at the stars. She felt a mix of sadness and hope, but for the first time, hope was winning. She knew that even when she felt distant from Alex, their connection could survive. They were stronger than the miles between them. The days turned into weeks since Alex had arrived in Maplewood, and every moment they spent together felt like a treasure. But as the summer drew closer to its end, Jenna couldn't shake the feeling of dread that settled in her stomach. Alex would soon have to go back home, and the thought of losing him again filled her with sadness. Jenna tried to push her worries aside, focusing on the fun they were having. They visited all their favorite places, took long walks by the river, and even went to a concert at the local park. Each day was filled with laughter and joy, but with every passing moment, Jenna felt the ticking clock reminding her of their impending separation. One evening, while sitting on the back porch, Jenna looked out at the stars that twinkled in the night sky. She and Alex had shared countless wishes on these stars, but now she felt uncertain about what to wish for. Instead of feeling hopeful, she felt a weight of sadness pressing down on her. "Hey, what's on your mind?" Alex asked, noticing her silence. He sat down beside her, his presence comforting. Jenna sighed, trying to find the right words. "I've just been thinking about how soon you'll have to go back home. I don't want to lose what we have." Alex reached for her hand, gently squeezing it. "I understand. I've been thinking about it too. But we can make this work, Jenna. I really believe that." She turned to face him, her heart racing. "Do you really think so? I mean, it's easy to say that now, but what happens when you're back in your city? Will we still be able to share everything like we do now?" Alex looked deep into her eyes, unwavering. "Yes, we can. We can set a schedule for our calls, write letters, and keep our blog going. We just need to stay committed to each other." Jenna nodded slowly, feeling a flicker of hope. "You're right. I just wish it didn't have to be this way. I wish we could always be together." "I wish that too," he said softly. "But distance doesn't have to mean losing each other. It can be a test of how strong we really are." Jenna smiled at his words. Alex had a way of making her feel better, even when things seemed tough. "I want to believe that," she said. "I really do. I just need to find ways to stay connected." The next day, Jenna decided to take action. She opened her laptop and started brainstorming ideas for their blog. She wanted it to be more than just a place for them to write. She wanted it to be a project that would keep them connected, no matter the distance. She wrote down ideas for different topics they could explore together, from their favorite books to travel destinations they dreamed of visiting. The more she wrote, the more excited she became. This could be their way of sharing their lives, even when they were apart. Later that evening, she called Alex to share her ideas. "I've been thinking about our blog," she said, her voice full of enthusiasm. "What if we turn it into a project that connects us even more? We could each write about different topics, but also include our thoughts and feelings about the distance." "I love that idea," Alex replied, his excitement matching hers. "We could have a section for letters we write to each other, and maybe even a section for our wishes on the stars." "That's perfect," Jenna said, her heart soaring. "It will be like our own little world where we can share everything, no matter where we are." As they talked, Jenna felt the weight of her worries lift. They were creating something meaningful together, and that gave her hope. She realized that even though they were miles apart, they could still share their lives. Over the next few days, Jenna and Alex worked hard on their blog. They created new sections, wrote letters to each other, and even shared their dreams and fears. The process brought them closer. allowing them to express their feelings in ways they hadn't before. One evening, while they were on a video call, Jenna noticed how much Alex had opened up. He shared his worries about returning home and how he feared losing their connection. Jenna felt her heart ache for him, knowing they were both feeling the